In this video, we'll be going over every single lone survival gun that's currently in the game. I'll be reviewing their damage, what attachments you should use, and their overall tier list. So let's get started. So first off, we'll start off with the M134 Minigun. You have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it from the Raider app. The overview is basically, if you're pushing someone and they're like right in front of your face, you just win. It's over. Unless you have 500 ping, you just win. Like, how are you going to beat that? The damage on it, it's pretty high for that RPM. Like, come on, you ain't losing with this. All right, but for every other scenario, it's pretty bad. It's very bad. You have to like tap fire like that. We're gonna have to put this in a I'm gonna say B tier because limited range abilities. Next up, we have the PKM. The PKM, very strong, 50 damage with a high rate of fire, and it has good bullet velocity too. But it's very hard to control for some people. The only downside is the recoil, but if you have good recoil control like this, then it's definitely a go-to. Especially if you put on a hollow sight and a muzzle brake. It's extremely good to use. Look at that. Especially with the large magazine, it's definitely worth using, especially in a raid defense. I'm gonna have to put this in A tier, not S tier because the recoil is too hard to control for some people. Next up is the Shack 12. The Shack 12 is extremely powerful with 60 damage but a lower RPM of 475. If you get a headshot with this gun, they're gonna die, especially if they don't have any strong armor such as sheet metal. The recoil is harder to control, and it has a very limited magazine size of 20. I would recommend to put a different sight on it because the iron sights are pretty bad. Boom, look at that. If you can manage to control the recoil and get a sight on the thing and replace it with iron sights, it's pretty good. But I'll have to put in A tier due to the magazine size and hard recoil to control. Next up, we have the M700. The M700 is very powerful and definitely your late game choice for long range engagements. It does a massive damage of 82, but it is a very slow sniper. It's a sniper, what do you expect? The iron sights are pretty good, but there is like an odd time between the gun's ready and it allows you to fire. Because like I'm clicking right now and it won't let me fire until like a second later. It's pretty annoying, but it's very powerful and definitely a worth trade-off. I recommend you put on a 10x because a 12x might get a little too close, like this, because now you're able to like see a little bit farther. But if you really want to see that closely, like if you're sniping someone from across the map, definitely a 12x. Do not put a suppressor on your sniper rifle. Sure, it sounds cool. Sure, you want to try to be stealthy, but come on, you're still able to hear suppressors. It's just they're a lot quieter. That's how they work. But due to its damage, rate of fire, and magazine size, makes it very good. So I'm going to put it in S tier. Next up, we have the handmade lever action. The handmade lever action is a very good weapon to use if you don't have in-game weapons. It has a huge rate of fire, very fast, and it has a good amount of damage for its tier. High RPM, high damage, and good bullet velocity. Also, it is a lot faster to shoot compared to the M700, so you can kind of like quick scope like that. I recommend you either put on a 6x or you put on a 10x because 12x is definitely way too zoomed in. But I'm going to put this in A tier because the high damage and good mid-range capabilities. Next up is the SKS. The SKS has a lot of damage, a high fire rate, and a large magazine, making it perfect for mid-range to close-range engagements. Personally, it's a little big on the screen. It's a very, like, in-the-middle choice. So I'm going to put it in A tier. Next up is the M4 assault rifle. The M4 is pretty good. It has a good bit of damage, has a decent RPM, but the bullet velocity and bullet drop is a little eh. The main problem I have with it is the recoil. The recoil is a bit too jittery. It's like too sharp. It's not like smooth. So it makes it extremely hard to control compared to the PKM. I recommend you put on a hollow sight and a muzzle brake if you want to be able to use this thing reliably. I'm going to have to put the M4 in B tier due to the drawbacks it has. Next up is the AKM. The AKM is really not the best. I mean, sure, it has a good model and stuff, but the recoil is just all over the place. The damage is pretty high, the RPM is pretty bad, the bullet velocity is bad. And it's just a bad gun to use. I recommend if you ever want to use this, put a muzzle brake and hollow sight on it, But if you're gonna full push someone, take this off. Take the muzzle brake off, because then you can just spray and you will kill them first. I'm gonna have to put the AKM in C tier. Next up is the AKS-74U. This is the best all-rounder, has good damage, has good RPM. It doesn't have a lot of recoil, so it's a good weapon to use if you know how to control it. If you put on these, oh yeah, I forgot. You cannot put a muzzle attachment onto the AKS because it already has a built-in muzzle booster. If you look at the tip, you see that? It's the same thing as this, built in. But you learn how to control that, you have a good chance of winning a lot of your fights. I'm gonna have to put this in S tier. Next up is the AS Val. The AS Val is a good close range weapon because of its extremely high fire rate. I think it gets hated on way too much. Let me show you. So, put it on the sight on it. You can't put a muzzle thing on it because it already has the built-in suppressor. So, look at that. Especially if you put on the magazine extender modification that recently came out in the 0.7 update, it's going to shoot a lot more. And it's really a good contender with the MP5. But yeah, I'm going to have to put this in B tier. I'm not putting in one of these because it actually has like some value to it. If you don't subscribe in the next 5 seconds, you're going to end up like him. Next up is probably everyone's favorite, the MP5. Come on, it has good damage, good fire rate, has low recoil, and you can just beam people with this. Sure, the iron sights are atrocious, but that's what hollow sights are for. And if you put on the muzzle brake, come on, no one's surviving that beam. Look at that. You already know it's going in S tier. Next up is my favorite, the M700. Come on, look at that. It's a shotgun. No, if you manage to hit someone in the face with this, you're coming out on top. Normally, I would put this in B tier if you didn't know that strat. So I'm going to put it in A tier. Next up is the APC-9K. APC-9K, it's not the best. The recoil is all over the place. The damage is decent. The iron sights are not the worst, but the magazine size is really holding it back. Look at this. The jitter it has makes it very hard to control, even if you're not having a lot of recoil. It's just weird to use. Personally, I would just skip to MP5. If you're going from like, I don't know, M9, A4 to this, you're doing it wrong. I'm gonna have to put this in C tier along with the AKM because the recoil, it's pretty bad. The damage, it's just not worth it. Next up is the KEDR. This gun, garbage. Don't even use it. The recoil all over the place. The magazine's tiny. You can land 20 shots on someone and it won't kill them. Sure, the RPM's good if you're fighting bow kids, use it. But if you're past white day, don't even. No attachments will make this good. Don't put any attachments on these. The muzzle booster, not even this. Like, it doesn't increase the damage at all. The damage is just terrible. But the makeshift is better than the KEDR. Just F tier. Get out of here, bro. Next up is the Python. The Python has extremely high damage and is a good substitute for M9A4. Only use it if you don't have access to the M9A4 though, because the M9A4 is just better in so many different ways. If you want to pretend you're Rick Grimes, go ahead and use it. The recoil on it, pretty bad. The damage, pretty worth it, but it only has 6 rounds and you kind of have to like drag your mouse down after every shot, so it's kind of like awkward to use. I'm going to have to put this in C tier for like normal use. Sure, everyone likes the Python, but in this, it's just not balanced yet. It just came out. What do you expect? Next up is the M9A4 pistol. This, a very good early game. Massive damage, very low recoil. It's just a good all-rounder. If you can catch someone off guard, say there's someone right there, boom, they're dead. If you can catch someone off guard, they're gone. It has a good magazine size of 14, good damage, matching the MP5, and a high RPM compared to other pistols. You don't even need a sight. Like, the sights zoom in a little bit too much, so I'm gonna have to put this in A tier. Next up is the Revolver. The Revolver, come on, it's a makeshift revolver. It's not gonna be good. It has 6 rounds, and if you miss more than 3, you're gonna lose the fight, unless you're fighting a bow kid, because then you just win either way. Don't bother putting a sight on it. Don't bother putting an attachment on it. Just hit your shots, and maybe you'll win the fight. But yeah, it's just not good. D tier. all the way. Next up is my favorite, the double barrel shotgun. Come on, it's the DB. You manage to sneak up on someone, pop them twice, they're dead. Unless they're wearing full steel or military gear, or boss armor, obviously, they're gonna die. S tier, obviously, because it's cheap, easy to use, and if you're good with it, you can get rich. Next up, Makeshift Singleshot, the flare gun. Okay, you have to get lucky, like, only use this as a last ditch effort. If you have like no ammo left and anything, I mean, I guess you could use this over your spear, but you have to get lucky. It's all up to luck. Look at this. Imagine I was getting pushed by like some spear kid. I will put this in C tier due to it might be able to save you, but it's probably not. Next up, you have the crossbow. The crossbow, it's good damage. Like, it's kind of like in the middle. It's better than the bow if you can hit your shot. The reloading is a bit wonky. Like, it definitely is worth using unless like you have a gun. Just use a gun. This is like, only use this if you don't have a gun. I'm gonna have to put this in like D tier though, because like it's a crossbow, what do you expect? Next up is the bow. It's the bow, like it's not gonna do much. You're not gonna get any kills with this unless you're fighting other bow kids and naked. The accuracy is like terrible, but yeah, it just doesn't do a lot of damage. The fire rate is a lot faster than the crossbow. Just don't use it. F tier, get out of here. Next up is the stone and wood spear. It's the spears, like what do you expect? They're not gonna do anything other than like fight on the beach with them. If you can catch someone off guard with this, like sure, you're gonna be able to kill them, but like not if they have any armor on. So you have to get lucky, and it has to be like certain circumstances. These guys, I mean, stone spear, you might be able to do something. Wooden spear, no. The honorable mention though, the thermal katana. Come on, look at this. It looks so cool. Icy. And it does a lot of damage. You can headshot, one tap, steel kick guys with this. If you can manage to sneak up on someone and head tap them, it's gonna one shot them. But if you don't, then it's kind of like, what's the point? It's a sword versus a gun. Like, what are you gonna do? So C tier. All right, that's the end of this tier list. Hope you enjoyed. Obviously, this is my opinion, not fact. So take all of these as you will. You don't have to put on the attachments that I told you to. So mix and match however you want. But yeah.